Moguls in the Making, episode 14, Peebo edition.
Yo, welcome to another episode, Moguls in the Making, episode number 14. I am the one and only. I don't even need to introduce myself, man. T, go ahead.
Boys getting out of their round. Hey, man, I'm the one and only Tyrone Johnson, man. We appreciate y'all for coming out, checking us out today.
Yep.
We got an extra good one for y'all today. I know we always say that, but this one is for real like that.
Yeah,
You know
y'all need to
we
definitely get that pen out. It's different.
Most definitely.
It's a story, man. It's our dog, man. But,
especially in this entrepreneur space. But first, we're gonna kind of start with the business. You know what I'm saying?
Hop into the business. See, this week, just to catch people up, what happened? We had a couple closings. We made like, I don't know, like close to like 150 or something like that on our closings around there.
Yeah.
This past week. But we also got, a trip coming up too. That's coming up in Arizona that we got to go to. And we speaking on stage. Shout out to Brent Daniels, Pace Morby, Jamil Damji, Tom Crow, all of the people down there with Wholesaling Inc., man. We're going to be down there, man, and chopping it up with them for a few days for that weekend. So it should be dope.
That's going to be super dope, man. We excited to get out there. Shout out to Brent Daniels. That's one of our investors, so we got to pay him when we get down there. And we happy to bring him a solid return. So if y'all looking to, chop it up about some real estate and get y'all money off of Wall Street and put it on Main Street, come holler at T. Come holler at O over here at Legacy.
For real.
But without further ado, man.
Woo. One more time. Man.
Without further ado, man, we most definitely got to bring in the man, the myth, the legend. And I'm gonna bring y'all back on that myth. The myth, the legend. Peebo Watkins, man. We in the building, man. What's happening with you, people? I got to get some.
I thought y'all was talking about
Peebo,
somebody else.
Big dog?
Oh, what's up? I ain't really fooling with. I asked about a week ago to run some comps from here. I still ain't got them.
Damn.
But that's what happened when you making 150 a week.
That's what happened. He forgot about the little comps.
He forgot about the little comps. But it's the second time he didn't did me. Like I'm
we
just
out on
man.
The pod. He goes
Golly,
man. I ain't wasting no time.
Golly.
For real though,
No,
man.
good.
But on some real stuff. The reason why I even say that, man, I appreciate you for coming on for real, man, because you a hard dude to catch up with for one.
Yeah.
But for two, like I said, man, the myth part is serious. Like when we had our event, when was that?
November?
Nah, that was with Austin Rutherford. Shout out Austin. We started
last summer? That
was the end of last summer, like August or September. It was a couple dudes in the room from Gary. They drove all the way up from Gary to check us out, mess with us. I forget their names right now, but they dope, man. They doing real estate out in Gary area, stuff like that. They murdering it, and that's where he from. So I'm like, man, y'all know my dog Peebo or whatever. And one of the guys, he was kind of young. I think he in his 20s or something like that. He like, Peebo? I'm like, yeah, that's my guy. Like, for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mess with people. He was like, man, I can't sit up here and say I know him personally, but I know Peebo because he like a god out in Gary. He like, for real, like everybody. Nah, for real, I ain't tell you this. He like, man, for real, everybody like, they know about Peebo, but they don't really know exactly what he do, but they all look up to him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, he was like, that's like, for me, that's like one of my role models. Like right now, that's where I'm trying to get.
Yeah.
It's to be looked at like that. And to be like that. You know what I'm saying? So just going down that road and stuff, like tell us kind of about that, bro. Growing up in Gary, you know what I'm saying, and turning into the man you are today, kind of how did that formulate?
Man, that's a blessing for for the young fella to even say that, So I'm definitely honored, very humbly honored, about that. You know what I mean? But I mean, growing up, man, is just like any other place, any other urban place. I was born and raised in the projects. I think my mom got us out when I was about 8th or 9th grade. And even there, like I always like my mom was always there. She didn't drink, she don't smoke. So I had that support system at an early age, and I had friends that didn't have that, you know. So like I don't know what it felt like coming home and I ain't got nothing to eat. You know what I mean? Oh, like it was something, whether it was like a bologna sandwich or like like a hot dog, you know what I mean?
Dog.
Like it was something, you know, like so that's why I always tell people the streets didn't raise me. They babysat me when my mama went to work.
Facts.
You know, so when she worked from 3 to 11, then that's when I was there. But then I always had that reset. I had to come back. Yeah, so it was always there. And my dad was there. You know, it was my daddy. So
yeah,
you know, so he was there. He was kind of more. My mom was you know, going to church. You know, to believe my daddy was more in the streets. You know what I mean? So. So it was like I had both balance. You know, it was like a parallel, and I kind of think that's what shapes me up. You know, for who I am today or who I'm, you know, trying to become. Now, you know what I mean?
Tell me a little bit about that, just to kind of build off of that same question a little bit, because like, I mean, you know my story and stuff too, right? And it's like when you in them certain environments, right, and people look at you as one of the real ones or somebody that, you know what I'm saying, they trust or whatever, it can easily pull you to that. And you even, I mean, I know for me, I even tried it out.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me see what I can do with this.
Yeah.
This
no,
game.
it's like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and I noticed real quick, I was like, nah, this ain't for me.
It's kind of like sometimes it's like a learned behavior. You know what I mean? Like I know people, like I said, situation was way worse than mine. You know, like I understood, like, you know, how some people had to go, and I saw why some people wanted to go. Then I saw the other version of people just wanted to do something, you know, and on which all three of them, that don't necessarily mean one could be more real than the other, because I saw some people that had great situation, and probably turned to the biggest monster in the city. You know what I mean?
They didn't have to be.
They didn't have to be that. Well, from my perspective, but like I said, everybody has a choice. But sometimes when you in those situations, those environments, when you're growing up in projects, you have limited opportunities. You know what I mean? So therefore, you choose to do other things, and you try to you know, make up for what you may not have. Or sometimes it's a popular choice, you know, like, because when you grow up, like, because like when I grew up, like I didn't know, it was no doctors and lawyers in the projects. I didn't know none of them in Gary. The only person that you saw that you wanted to be like was the person that was, you know what I'm saying, that was hustling and things like that. So they had cars, they had all the girls. So you're like, okay, that's what you want to be.
Exactly.
And you know, so like it was just like growing up there, you like it's like limited opportunity. So you're gonna look to do that. But I knew I knew I was destined for greatness, because I always tell people we was the only people in the project that had a washing machine and a dryer. So I knew
people don't know how important that is.
I knew we was getting out of there. You know, I didn't know when, but I knew. So I never had to go through the laundromat. You know what I mean? So we had that. You know, so I felt like I was a little privileged. You know what I mean? Because I had that. But you know, but yeah, man, it's like I said, man, I had like one of my best friends. Got shot in the head when I was in the 6th grade. I was in the 6th, he was in the 7th or 8th. And you know, so it was just like, man, and you know, growing up, you know, you start to see the change, you know, as he got a little bit older. Yeah. But when we were younger, you know, we would play basketball, like, 'cause he was better than me, like he was really good. And it was just like you start to see it, you know. And this hindsight is always 20/20, because you're like, man, so many things could have went this way and that way, you know, by the grace of God, that, you know, you know, man, it's a blessing, man. For real. It's a blessing.
So Pete, let me ask you this too, though, because I know, like, obviously we about to hop into it here in a second, but you got your hands in a lot of shit, man. And kind of growing up from, you know, and even how small Gary is. And we talking about Gary, Indiana, for any of y'all who watching this who don't.
Gary, Indiana.
You know, maybe know. Gary, Indiana.
Home of the Jackson 5, baby.
Facts. Home of the Jackson. Home of the, you know what I'm saying, a lot of real ones, too. Yeah, for real. You know what I'm saying? And it's in between Indianapolis and, like, Chicago area. Right outside of Chicago area, for those of you who don't know. But anyway, because I got some of my connections. One of my best friends, he from Gary, his whole family out there. And, you know what I'm saying, somebody who was like a big homie to me, you know what I'm saying, growing up, you know what I'm saying, he'll come down or he'll be on the jail phone, you know what I'm saying, talking to us like, hey, nah, do this or do that, you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, he was put up for like 12, so he came home, went back home, went to Gary, he already had real estate, he already had stuff going on, then he opened up a restaurant, you know what I'm saying, so we just stayed in contact and stuff like that always. Like, you know me since a youngin', you know what I'm saying? So, and I was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I know a solid dude, man. You know what I'm saying? I know he from Gary or whatever. You know, people, he was like, oh yeah, man, he's solid. You know what I'm saying? So mind you, even knowing you through T, I'm like, all right, P already solid. You know what I'm saying? But then checking in with somebody who my big dog, you know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, he's solid. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got like the close relationship, but I know him and how he move here, and he's solid. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, say less. You know what I'm saying? For me, so my question is going into saying like your entrepreneurship journey and all that. Did that start in Gary, or did you start moving around and then you was like, hey, how'd you kind of find your way?
No, it was Gary. You know, like, because that's at a point that was the only place I had seen. Like, like I don't really come from like a big family where we have like family reunions and stuff. Like, you know, I got distant cousins and things like that. So I can remember this family, like I said, after school, like, you know, my mom was at work, you know, my daddy in the streets, you know, everything and all. I played sports and stuff, so I could practice, you know, you trying to find your way. So, you know, I had a couple friends that, you know, their parents, you know, took me in, like, you know, as far as like, you know, made sure like, you know, I could come in their house, you know, like when he went in there, like really looked out for me. Then we got kind of close. So then they started inviting me to their family reunions, right? And so I remember my mom was scraping up. We didn't have enough money for me to go, you know, but she was going to make, I had a mom that was going to make a way, you know what I mean? So we scraped up some money. Only thing I had to do was pay for my flight, you know, and things like that. But she always wanted to send me with some money to make sure that, you know, I was good. Things like that.
So,
so
one like, hey, can I? She's like, nah, you have to be like that.
So that kind of, you know, so I was able to go see the world after that, you know, besides playing sports, like, you know, like we'll go, you know, little tournaments and things like that. And, you know, so I started in Gary, to be honest, when I was a kid in the projects, my first job was the lookout man. You know, you know, like it was crazy. The only thing I had to scream was we said 09 to 50. That was the thing. So that was my first job. But I would save my money. So all the older, you know, hustlers, you know, they kind of like took me in, like, you know. Okay, I didn't need them. Like, you know, some people I didn't need that because, like I said, my mom, you know, was that support and cash, you know, like that I needed. So my mom was there, you know. Like I said, my daddy was still there. It was a day where I couldn't come in at 12 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? So his presence, you know, when you had that father presence, like even if it's different, you know what I mean? Most like so, like even if he didn't, you know, do X, Y, and Z or this and that, you know what I mean? Like just that presence of having that man. That's why I try to preach to everybody. It's important to be in your child's life. You know what I mean? Whether you stay there, whether you just call in and things like that to check in. It's like an authority. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And so, but yeah, that was my first one. I would save my money, and then so so we had a couple candy stores, you know, that was close, and you know, so all the hustlers, they would like, you know, pay you to go to the store, right? And you know, so I would, so I would, you know, I remember charging them $1, you know what I mean? So, and it was another place, it was the Blue and White store. They had hot pizzas, so you know that was a $2 run, you know. But they would try to negotiate with the, you know, they would try to negotiate with everybody. So they would try to negotiate, but I would stand on my price. And so what happened was, so to go to the Blue and White store, you had to have a bike and stuff. So people, you know, so I'm in the project, so obviously a lot of us ain't got bikes. So they would go to the different neighborhoods, you know, steal a bike. So I would buy the bikes, you know what I'm saying? So because I would save my money, I would buy the bikes. And then, then during that day, I stopped having to, you know, ride my bike to go get the store. I would put them on the bike. And so I would get half of the commission. I would get half of what they made on my bike because they didn't have no bike.
You was running
so I had no bikes. Man, I probably was about 6 years old.
How much money?
No, that's wild.
I can't even.
Hold on. He says 6 years old.
Yeah, you growing. Yeah, I started up by 6, 7 years old.
So you telling me did nobody come and steal the bike that you bought?
No. When I was younger, I was kind of fat. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, like, and in the projects, like, you know everybody, and then like, so you know, like I knew everybody. So it was like, it wasn't like nobody was scared. I mean, we all were fighting. I'm not saying nobody was scared of it, but I had a little respect. Like I had the same shoes that, the drug dealers had on.
Exactly.
Like my mom made sure she kept me in Jordan. So, so it was more like it was like they had a different found a respect for you. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to dress for the job you want instead for the job you have. So when you feel that connection and they saw that, okay, well, this little kid got the same type of style I got, things like that. So it's crazy. They embrace you in. I never really understood that because I'm like vice versa. If I see you and you kind of beat up and dusty, I kind of want to embrace you in. Not the people so I was different, but I understand that's how the game go. The rules, the rules of the game don't change. It's just the contestants. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. So that's how it was, and I would let them ride the bike, and then if they did have a bike, if they got a flat, sometimes they couldn't fix it. So I had the inner tube kits and all that, so I could get them back rolling. So it was so all the drug dealers thought I said he gonna be the man. You know, because
he got a whole empire of just going and doing runs to the candy store, to the pizza shop.
It was my friends. Some older. So a lot of them was older. Like a lot of them was older. But if you didn't have a bike, you couldn't make no money.
Exactly.
If you walk to the store, the pizza gonna be cold. So I had a thing that look. I charged a little bit more than everybody else when I was making the runs, but the thing that they knew the pizza was going to be hot, the change was going to be correct, everything was going, and I was going to give it to you in a timely fashion. You know what I'm saying?
Wild.
And it was like so if you think about it, it was business at that time. You know what I mean?
It really was.
How much money just from that? I mean,
it's hard to say because I couldn't really. I couldn't.
He didn't have no books.
Like
keeping the books.
Like in the weekend, you feel like you will make like 5 runs a day or something like that.
In the summertime, we're making more than 5 runs a day because you gotta say like my project was like. It was like so my mom and dad's from a different project, so they both from the same project, and then we moved to the other ones. So the one that we moved to, it started to become the one. You know what I mean? I can remember how they all got on. You know what I mean? They worked summer jobs and put their money together. Yeah. And that's how it was. So it was a lot of traffic. So it was a lot of people, and even other people that was coming in that maybe wasn't from there. You know what I mean? So it was, you talking about 30 or 40 people. This is back in the day, where people, they had, it was food stamps and all that. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So if I did food stamps, I would charge more. You know what I'm saying? I would take the food stamp, but I would charge a little bit more because I couldn't really turn it into the money that I was saving.
For sure.
But I don't know. I never really got I would just put it in there because I heard all the drug dealers would say they put it in a shoebox.
Yeah, of course.
So I would put it in my Jordan shoebox. I would hide it because I couldn't come home with that money from my mom. But it was kind of an answer. Yeah, I just run into the store. You know what I mean? And then it was just like, okay, well, how much money are you going to the store? So I tried to hide it. You know what I'm saying? Like a little bit. But I didn't. It's not like I had to go buy the Jordans because I was already getting them at that age. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that kind of took me out because I saw my mom she would buy us all the Jordans and stuff, right? Then we'd be broke, you know what I mean? So it was just I'm like, and my auntie used to tell me it wasn't my auntie, so it was my cousin, my mom, them cousin, but I used to always call her my auntie out of respect because she was the only person that would come to the projects and get me. Like on my other side of the family, they kind of would look down on us because we stayed in the projects, right?
Yeah,
so it was kind of crazy. So so my mom couldn't understand. She was like, why they looking down on us and their kids running around dusty? At least my kids clean and all that. Right. But it was just I stayed in the project. Exactly. So my mom, she was a custodian. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So she was a custodian. So that's kind of frowned upon. She cleaning up little kids' piss. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But so everybody would do that. So it was just oh no. So they didn't want their kids playing with me. And this is my family, not just some friends. It was my family, and
would be the one.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was the craziest thing in the world. So then, as I got older and I started getting more popular, and they could see it. Now they want to tell everybody they're my cousin, but I told them, I said, nah, I don't really rock with you like that. You know what I mean? We ain't doing that. Don't try to get a name off of mine. We weren't rocking like that. And I'm one of the people. I be having a list.
Yeah,
I got that stuff.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
I got that list.
Speaking of just you know what I'm saying, getting older. Let's shift a little bit. Now you because for me, I met you through the AAU circuit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
SYF.
SYF, yeah. Shout out SYF.
Yeah.
I met you through the AAU circuit. I always just knew you from talking about when I first met you then as this dude that just helped everybody get to the top college that they want to get to, or you know what I'm saying, shit like that. And then, you know, I become to really know you when I got to Purdue, and Etwan brought you more around me and all of that. Shout out Etwan, and we need you on the podcast too. Stop playing games. But
come on, E. Don't do that, E.
Kind of tell me what, you know, because one time you said to me, I noticed early on, man, that I could really like do some, like get some work in the basketball community without being the player.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, like. How did you even get involved with doing that? And then, like, how did that start out? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you pretty much was an entrepreneur. You was making nothing at first off of it.
Nothing.
You was just putting two and two together.
I was spending money. Like, I was spending money to try to help people. Because I felt like, you know, in our area, you either play ball or you rap.
Right.
And that was the only thing you had. So I was around basketball a lot, but unfortunately, I wasn't that good. So, but I understood the game and the dynamics, you know, on how to, you know, control it.
Maneuver.
And, you know, so it was like, it was the gift, you know, that I had. And I was trying to, you know, figure out a way to like, man, how can you help people? You know what I mean? That's in that, you know, that's in that realm.
What's your first situation with that?
It was just.
Did you like do it on accident?
Yeah, it was kind of like that because I always like I said, I played, but I wasn't that good. You know, baseball was actually like, you know, like my main sport. So I got chose to go to prep school.
I can see that. I can see you playing
So
baseball.
like
you a King Griffey
Jr.
Jr.
Man, I wasn't that. I may be like King Griffey, like the 10th or something, or the 11th. You know, I wasn't that good. But no, so I had a, you know, so that was my sport. Although I wish back because, you know, baseball wasn't popular in Gary.
Yeah, exactly. Basketball.
Nobody was coming to no baseball games.
Yeah,
like, you know, but I used to bring a few people out just because, you know, it was me, but it was like, it was uncommon. And and I was still playing basketball too, but I wasn't that good. Like I had friends and stuff that was way better than me and things like that. So I understood at a young age, okay, I need to focus more on something else.
For sure.
And so throughout that, like I was getting in some trouble in Gary, so I got a chance to, you know, go to a prep school, you know, Iowa. So I wanted to go. And my mom wouldn't let me go. Say, no, you're not going. And then, you know, she started to feel like, okay, it may be a better opportunity.
Right.
And that kind of like changed. That kind of really changed my life because I go to a place and like I'm Gary. I'm in Gary. I am Gary. Like this is my city. I'm sure. Yeah. So I'm here. I'm popular. I know everybody. I ain't got to worry about nothing. Things like that. So I took that and went to a place where I knew no one. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of courage to go somewhere where you don't know no one, and to come from somewhere where you know everyone. So it was a big step. And after the first day of school, I feel like Iowa was mine. So at that point, I knew I could go anywhere in the world, and I was going to be able to adapt to it. It wasn't because I'm just in Gary and I'm popular here and I know everybody. I felt like I could go anywhere. You put me anywhere and I'm gonna figure it out.
Exactly.
You know, it took me a day.
You know what I mean? Anywhere on God's green earth.
He gonna triple his word. And then he said, "Mother, my daughter may watch this."
Here, motherfucker.
I don't know. My daughter may be watching this. I'm like, don't you say that word? You know, no, you good. No, I was just playing. She probably cursed too. You know, I know she done called me some motherfuckers behind my back. You know, but yeah, so you know, so that was what it was, and then along the time I started to see how powerful the sports things was, and it was really connected because it was really connected. Sometimes it's connected in the streets, and sometimes it's connected in the suites.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Business,
so it's really two of the same. You know what I mean? It's really two of the same. And to be honest, like
they do bridge that gap. Sports basketball bridge the gap.
Absolutely,
it's a median. And you know, to be honest, like so one of my big guys, one of my big homies, he was in jail. So you know, like I'm one of the people like I probably talk to you more in jail than I did in the streets because I want to put that in you,
sure
let you know I'm home, and then if it's something that I could do, you know, for you and your family while you're here, you know what I'm saying?
Let me know.
That's what I do. So one of the situations was somebody was getting in a little bit of trouble, you know, and it, you know, a lot of people don't know sometimes. Well, I know like in Cali and some of the big cities, a lot of the stuff is controlled on the inside, you know, instead of the outside. You know what I mean? Because you're on the inside, you can't go nowhere.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So then you look inside, you know what I'm saying? You put
facts.
you put your arm, look, call outside and make sure
Absolutely.
such and such and such.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I had a chance with some people, like I was able to send them some protection through some relationships that I had through basketball.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's when I knew. I said, "Wow." You know what I mean?
This is powerful.
It's powerful. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it was powerful. So I was able to, everybody was, kind of got off of them because of my relationship that I had, and I was just like, man, this is powerful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I, so I tried to, I just tried to help everybody because I knew I saw so many people, either basketball or it was back to the streets. And and you know what kind of happens with that. And it was kind of one of them situations where I was just like, man, if I could do this, and I could say, look, ain't nothing out there, stay here.
Yeah.
And I was young myself around them because I remember meeting T. I remember, because I wasn't even coming to Indianapolis then. I didn't really know nothing about Indianapolis then. And I meeting T, and I was like, I was like, man, like it was just like, it was just good to see, I'm a couple years older, but it was good to be able to be a positive influence and say, so let's do this. And guess what?
And as players,
as
players, you got to think back then in particular too. A lot of our coaches wasn't like us or came from the same environments that we came from. Yeah. So to have somebody like him around that understood, that talk our talk, you know what I'm saying, and all that, but he's still saying, nah, y'all tripping if you on that. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And he didn't came from.
And you know that.
Shit.
And I didn't even know him, but all the other little dudes was telling me, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, he him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, that's our guy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, that's cool. And I got a little bit of time with you then, but when you got to Purdue, we had a lot of time together. And that was really one question that I kind of wanted to ask you too, because like, you end up moving to Indianapolis, right? And you a dude like, you be everywhere. I mean, all across the U.S. Why Indianapolis as your base?
Well, first, like,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. First, most Gary people come to Indianapolis because Chicago is too expensive.
Yeah.
Right.
And like it's too expensive. Because to be honest, within up until like the last 7 years, it's probably when I first started experiencing, Chicago like that. Like, I didn't even know it was like that because it was more like, because it was more like, like I remember when I was young, like it was kind of connected. I remember like the GDs, the Vice Lords, Four Corner Hustlers, the few Stones that was in Gary. Yeah. Like if they would get into it, people from Chicago would come over. And the same thing vice versa. If Chicago people, the Gary people would go over there. So I had already knew that connection. And then, you know what I'm saying? So I just like, but it was just like Chicago was there. So you always want to step, because when people like, when y'all say, oh, like, hey, from Gary, Chicago, as it's a whole, it's a separation. Like, we cool. We like first cousins.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We like
Absolutely.
first cousins. But like Indianapolis, to me, it was undefined. It was so much opportunity. And then, it's always that borderline. Like when you go to schools and everybody always beefing Gary and Nap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like,
No,
man,
it was like that.
no. It was because I got some of my best partners from Nap. Like if it wasn't for Indianapolis, I wouldn't be who I am today. Like Indianapolis changed
Vice
my
versa,
life.
though,
You know
for
what I'm
me.
saying?
What make you say that though?
Man, just the opportunity, the people, man, some really good people in that. Like I love people would be like, yo, I love Nap. Like I'll be like, yo, when they get like I'm the one like, man, we could squash that, let's squash it. You know what I mean? Like it ain't really nothing. Like it's really just some. I knew what happened. Like, when Gary was the murder capital and all that, they would come here and try to bully everything. But then in the Napa, you got to, stand on their ground like, we ain't going. You know what I mean? So it was just like, so I understood it. Y'all understood it from both sides, And one thing about it, we didn't have as much opportunity. Like, I seen people like here coming in like 14, 15, like with some money.
Right.
You know what I mean? On sixes and all that. And Gary, we can't do that young because somebody gonna come take it. You know what I mean? Because it is not enough food in the pot. Facts. Here is a lot of food in the pot, and guess what? The Indianapolis people will let you get some.
Yeah.
Just don't come down here acting like it's just yours. Just share it. They'll share it. And I knew that from my older people because my older guys, they will come here and they will be able to get money with them. So I knew it wasn't. I thought just every Gary person hated somebody from Indianapolis, and every Indianapolis person hated somebody from Gary. So
I mean, you would think that the way people be talking about it, but now it really is dang near like this now. Man. Like today, it's so many Gary folks.
It's so many. It's a lot.
With a lot of Gary
it's a lot of Gary people, especially second and third generations and stuff. Because when you get out, it's opportunity. We don't have no jobs there. Our school systems are terrible. Like you know what I'm saying. Like here, it's a lot of opportunity. You just got to take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
you just
every
gotta
single
take advantage.
person that I know that's from Gary say that about now.
Yeah. I love it. I don't
say that
I
about
think
that.
I will always have a place in Indianapolis.
They say,
Indianapolis
bro,
is
so
one of
much
my favorite.
opportunity.
It's
That's
one of
the
my
word that they use,
favorite.
too.
It's one of my favorite places. Like,
That's
and
what's
I
up.
go everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I
Indianapolis
said.
and the people like they embrace me. Like, you know what I'm saying? They open
That's
their
why I
arms.
was
Like,
wondering.
they're my people.
I'm like, why Indianapolis as your base? You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
I
Because
love
you could
it,
be
man.
based anywhere.
Yeah, I
really.
love it.
I
You
mean,
know,
across
for
the US.
one,
For
you
real,
know, like my daughter is here, but even before, you know, she was conceived, like I had already made Indianapolis. You know what I'm saying?
home.
Like my headquarters. You
For
know, what I mean,
sure.
Chicago,
Yeah.
it was already defined. It was there. You know, I got some, you know, older cousins and uncles that's, you know, there, but I felt like Indianapolis had a place where you can grow up.
Facts.
And, you know, and you could not redefine, you could define it because it was coming into its own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I wanted to have equity, you know what I'm saying? And something like that with the people that I've met, you know what I mean?
So that's hard.
Yeah.
Tell me this, man. Like, you know, with all the people that you work with, you don't work with a ton of people out here, man.
So you go ahead and start naming them off.
I was gonna say people. I mean, and I know this is from just. I might be a little bit biased that I think is bigger people, but Jawan, Etwan, that was. I mean, the work that you was doing with them and stuff like that. I saw it like firsthand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For one.
Yeah.
But you got your Devin Bookers. You got your what's the point guard that played for them? Ulis.
Tyler Ulis.
Tyler Ulis. I mean, name off some of them folks, but also like, what is the most meaningful deal that you feel like you put together? You know what I'm saying? With working with those, with some of those names.
Man, it was crazy because, like I said, I always tell people, like, you know, you got my parents, you got my mom and dad, my sisters there. Right below them, you got like Jawan and Etwan, you know what I mean? And then on the same level, you got Darius Garland, right? You know what I mean? Because the Garland family, you know, kind of like, I can remember when Darius was in like the first or second grade, like
That's
like
crazy.
he was amazing. But like his dad, like I call him my uncle, Winston. So I'm really, really, you know, the things that I learned. So Jawan and Etwan, them, I got that pass. So it was like, when they made it, it was like, you know, okay, who is he?
Right.
So I came around. I can remember coming around. I wanted to create my own name. I didn't want to be like an entourage.
Right.
You know, so when I came in, we went. So it was like it was a blessing, right? Because we knew Jawan was going first round.
Right.
We didn't know if Etwan was going to get drafted. You know what I mean? So, you know, I paid for Jawan draft party, put together things, but I went up. I went up north.
There, by the way.
Yeah. I went up north to Etwan's because I wanted to be with him because I didn't know if he was going to draft. Yeah. I left. That was the. I think that was the first time I flew a private jet myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I went because I had to get that
That's
with
wild.
E. You know what I mean? So I wanted to be there when his name was going to get called, if it was going to get called.
Right.
And I, you know, so Jawan had called. I had knew E was about to go to the Celtics too because Jawan had just went to the Celtics.
Yeah.
And so Doc had called him. Was like, look, if Etwan available, we taking him. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, I hope he available. We thought his name was gonna get called before then, and that's why he wore number 55 was the 55th pick.
Yeah.
And so I went up there. You know, he got drafted. So I'm like, now they both in Boston. I said, oh, I'm about to go Boston. Like, I'm running. You know what I mean? So it's just like, so I went to Boston.
I all over
yeah.
you.
So, you know, so now it was a lockout, right? So people don't know, like, like, you know, everybody, you know, so now none of them.
What year is this? What year was that?
2010.
We was young. Yeah.
No,
2011.
2012, they had a lockout.
Yeah, so it was 2011, 2012, one of them. And so, you know, like, I'm young. I'm still trying to figure it out. But, you know, like, I'm there, so it's a lockout, so they ain't got no money and things like that. So, you know, I'm still, you know, making sure we all, you know, we good and things like that. And so I'm like, man, it's an opportunity. So I can remember the Celtics had called Rondo, like, which I had knew some of them already anyway, because Rondo and them used to come play in a tournament in Gary. So a lot of the hoopers I had already knew, Josh Smith and all them. So I would, you know, I already knew them. And so, like, I wanted to make my presence. It felt like, look, separate me from your regular entourage. So when we was coming in, I was paying for the meals. Like, Rondo and them, everybody looking at me like, you know what I mean? Some of the bills was, you know, pretty high, but I wanted to set that tone. Like, you know what I mean?
Again,
set that tone.
And that's why he's a real one, bro, too. Because think about this. Because back then, you know, I was around it. Even on my side of it, when people thought I was maybe gonna go, you know what I'm saying, stuff
and
like that too.
I thought he really had a shot, like, for real,
seriously.
like, you know.
So,
I thought he had a
but
shot.
what happens is it's an entourage that ends up attaching to you of people that you really didn't know before.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And real niggas, they looking at that like, man, who are they?
I don't even know you.
You know what I'm saying? But every time he came around, like he said, you definitely separated yourself because I was like, nah, he's doing something for them. They not doing something for not at the time.
No,
they
I
wasn't
know
doing
exactly what
something
you're
for
saying.
you.
Yeah, I
you
know
know what I'm
exactly
saying?
what you're
And that's
saying.
what really separated you. I'm like, nah, he's really helping them. Like he really putting them on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To like little stuff, and that's real, bro.
Yeah,
You
no,
really,
and that's one of the
thing
things
that I took out of that too, P, is that like you putting equity in them, knowing that like I'm gonna take the, and it goes back to just normal business too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You put the relationship first.
Yeah.
The money gonna come.
Yeah, and then
Absolutely.
like you never do. We need money. Money is over exaggerated, but we need to play this game called life. You know, not try living with no money. It's going to be tough. You know what I mean? But the relationships is more important than money. You can run out of money, but you can't run out of relationship. I done run out of money so many times in my life, but my relationships kept me going.
Facts.
You know, it's been
the
times
money
when-
just come after the relationship. The money is just showing you how many different relationships that you have, good relationships that you have.
Yeah, and it's
You know what I'm
sometimes,
saying?
and you have to step up to the plate. I can remember one time we were at North Central. We was at North Central. Joanna and them had already got drafted, and like I said, I really believe if I wouldn't have went all the way to Boston and went with them, I really believe I could have helped T get to that next level. Now, I couldn't go in there and do the work for him because he had that ability.
Absolutely.
But just being able to what I know now, and I could have put it into him, you know what I mean? Yeah. So like I really believe, because like I said, you know, after Eric Gordon, you know, he was, you know, it was T, you know what I'm saying? So it was just like, man, and it was like, you know, like we, you know, I knew his situation, which connected me to him more. You know what I mean? So I'm like, dang, so he could come from this and do this. I said, oh man, that's mine. You know what I mean? Like, that's my guy.
That's
so
me, you
yeah,
know
know what I mean? So
so
I respected that, and you know, and it was like to see him just, you know, going and going and going. You know what I'm saying? And to know his story, and then, you know, start to come to Indianapolis and know it a little bit more. You know, things like that. I'm like, oh no, man, like that's my guy. But to see him succeed now and to doing this real estate thing, it's like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, because he could have easily reverted it and went back to, you know what I'm saying?
sure.
But for him to go, like, it was like, man, like, you know what I'm saying? So it was just
That's
like, and he don't even remember like his wife. I can remember they got into it, and he was acting like, man, forget her. Nah, I said, boy, that's a good girl. You better go her. That's your wife right there. You don't remember, like I'm telling you, like I remember.
Nah, most definitely. Let me look
to you like that.
I'm telling you, I can remember. I can remember. Yeah.
Let me look at the camera right now and say this. Nah, he was literally might have been the first, like one of my homies that was like, nah, bro, like she the one. And he was a little older than us too, so we thinking like, you know, in the now. You know what I'm saying? He was like, that's the one, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just letting y'all know that right now.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's the one.
And
I remember that.
Married
I definitely
and all
remember
that. But yeah, no. It's like I said, like it's a beautiful thing. Like I can't like, it's a blessing. You know what I mean? Like
now,
I can't even sit back and put it all together.
That ain't the only thing that you do though, because I wanted to kind of jump into that too, because like, man, when it's all said and done, you like really what somebody would call a serial entrepreneur, really. You know what I'm saying? Like,
A lot of people have that title.
Exactly.
They really not that.
But they really not that.
I got lucky a few times.
But no, I remember like, for instance, like when you set up that Wiz Khalifa concert at Purdue and IU. Talk about that, bro, and like not just that part, but like I know you came out, you know, you made some nice little bread. But we was in he this what he did, bro. Not only did he, when he threw it at Purdue, he let us be a part of the meetings with the frats and all that stuff, setting up and like negotiate. I'm watching him in action. This is when I'm in college. I'm like, man, dude is coming in just, you know, like he said, really,
putting
now the town
together.
is mine. That's how he was walking around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, who y'all got? All right, bet, connect me there. Boom. We go sit down with him. He's like, look, man, this is what I'm thinking about. We're gonna do it here. We're gonna do it at this time. We're gonna boom, 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 boom. Everybody like, shh.
Damn.
Let's roll.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? But talking about that, making that bread, and then after that, what happened? Because I know, you know what I'm saying, you had some little situation that happened after that.
Yeah, I mean, it was, so I went in, you know, like I asked them, like, you know, I had already had a relationship with Wiz. Wiz used to call me for shows.
How do we even go back to that, though? What's the start of that?
Just meeting people, running around, people want to know. So it's like when you get out there, people start wanting to know who you are.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. How'd you get into
always
that?
Always been somewhere. You know, I used to see people like, man, this motherfucker be everywhere. Who is he? Who he work for? And then they'll start coming up and talking to me, but it be the people that you need to talk to. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's the craziest thing in the world. So people like, just like we may look at people in a certain way, people look at us a certain way, and especially when you always coming, you know what I mean? Like you always on point. You know what I mean? Like me not drinking, me not smoking, I'm always on point. I'm always ready.
That was another thing. Not to cut you off. That was another thing that I would notice about him, bro. I'm like, dude, just different. Like, this is before I knew him. Like, now how I know him today is like, we'll be out, we all be partying, he'll be buying drinks and all that stuff.
But
he's not drinking nothing though. I'd be like, bro, here, take a shot. Bro. He's like, you know, I don't drink, whatever. It got to a point where like I'm like, people come up to him like, hey, take a shot, man. Like, come on, what's wrong? I'm like, ain't nothing wrong with him. He just don't drink.
Yeah. I always wanted to stay on it. You know what I mean? Like I know
he paying attention.
I know a couple people that got killed because they was intoxicated. You know what I'm saying? So growing up, I always wanted to make sure. And then, you know, coming from, you know, that generational of alcoholics, like, you know, on my daddy's side. So I wanted to break that generational curse. You know what I mean? And things like that. You know what I'm saying? So it was a couple of things where it was like, then I was like,
last time you took a drink of some alcohol?
I always tell people, like, when if I get to a certain level, you know, I may take a drink or two and things like that.
When the last time? It's been years?
If I tell you that, then you'll think I'm on a level that I don't want you to know. You know what I'm saying?
You ever take a tequila shot with us?
No, I mean,
we gotta make a big. If we can get his comps,
if you give me some comps, we doing tequila. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Heard it, man.
But I always play drink. Like, I always fake drink. You know, just to see how my
be on that 50 cent thing. Hey, just make sure it's water in the bottles, in the cup, and I'm be drinking that all night. But it really ain't no alcohol.
Right.
You know, so but if I'm comfortable around, you know, who knows? You know what I'm saying?
But what happened though? I mean, I know you. So you made. How much did you make off of that Wiz Khalifa whole situation? And then right after that,
I mean, it was crazy because like I said, it was 900. Then Wiz had the black, not the black and yellow. It was
900. What?
Wiz used to charge me $900 at first. Like, he would call me for a show, come by himself and all that. And
$900?
Yeah, $900. And then
for a show where?
Colleges. Like, I was taking him to Bloomington and all that. Like, it was just me and him. Like, we'll go in there. That's when I first told Wiz I knew he was a star, because I had Fabulous and Wiz. It was my first time doing a fall show. I lost my ass on that one because, like, one of the things, it was fall, the weather was different, and then Fab missed his flight, couldn't come or whatever happened. So I'm like, man, I got all these people, you know what I mean? Got all these people, now I'm looking bad. So I only had Wiz. So I'm telling people, I'm like, don't come, like, don't buy no ticket. Fab's not showing up. Like, we came to see Wiz. Give me 4 VIP. So I'm like, huh? So I let Wiz. He only supposed to have 20-minute set. That's all he had is, you know, his CD in for 20 minutes. That was the show. Fab was the opener. I mean, he was the closer. He was the headliner. He was the headliner. And Wiz was like, so after Wiz go, I said, Wiz, I need you, dog. He like, what you need? I said, I need you to rock this moment. Fab ain't coming. He said, man, damn, I would, but I only got 20 minutes of CD. One of the frat boys had an iPod with all his songs on it. He said, P, plug that motherfucker up. We about to go. He fired up a joint. I said, look, Wiz, now we in Bloomington. You got to put that joint out now. We going to get in trouble now. You know what I mean? So he put it out, and he rocked it, $900, bro. Like, you know, I tipped him. I gave more because it was like what he did. And I saw the kids. Like, it wasn't not the kids. I saw the fans. Like, I'm seeing everybody like reciting. I said, I told him we was riding around. He was smoking his weed. I never forget. Because I got a link, because he was, I think at the time he was messing with a girl from Indianapolis.
Oh, word.
I mean? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So she was at a hotel, but somehow somebody heard he was gonna be there, and somebody was trying to steal his chain. So I slept at the hotel, you know, all night, and I had some people there to make sure, you know, because it can't happen on my watch.
Yeah,
not saying I'm the toughest person in the world, but I'm saying it just can't happen on my watch.
With you because
And not to say that he was like, if they would have came, they could have had this motherfucker. That's what he said. He said, but not on my watch. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And so fast forward that, like, he had that cushion orange juice.
Yeah.
You know, man.
That was like my senior year of high school.
Oh, he went from $900 to $50,000 a show, right?
Right.
That quick. And then so Wiz about to go. He goes somewhere. I said, I got to get Wiz. I fly to where he going. Then I had to drive, you know, a little bit longer. Where he at? Met him. I said, Wiz.
Making plays.
I need you. You know, he's like, I said, what you need? I said, I need 2 shows. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And he was like, man, I don't own my rights no more. Somebody, it's a exclusive booking agency that you got to go through. I said, but tell me what dates you need. I'm gonna make sure you get them. But they just control the prices, which I ain't want no discount. I always tell
Most
people
definitely.
charge me what you charge. I just need the show.
Right.
So I went in there, and I got them. Now by the time I get it was $75,000. You know what I mean? So
for two shows?
No, just for one. You know what I'm saying?
75 a piece.
75 a piece, and that's just the show. Not even setting up and all that. So you got to set up, you got to stage, you got all this. So it's a high. I'm telling, everything I had, I just gave it to him. Like I'm broke. I'm broke. So
So how much you give him though?
I gave him
the
that.
150.
I gave him so you only really supposed to send half. But
And then
since it was something else, they made me give up more because, like I said, there was exclusive booking agent. So I'm
Right.
telling you, I'm wiped out. I'm off the dollar menu the whole time. I'm like, I ain't got nothing, but I got all of it in there. But I said, I know this motherfucker gonna pop.
blow.
You know what I'm saying? So we got them out, but go to produce a guy named there's a dude named Pablo, right? He was the dean of students. I don't know why he had a problem with me.
Yeah,
because
he didn't really want to
I
let you
think
throw the joint.
He didn't want to let me throw. So what happens is it was like you see some people, they see this young black guy doing. I'm not wearing no suits. I look like a street nigga and things like that. So he was trying to sabotage what I was trying to do. You know what I mean? Sabotage. I learned that word yesterday. Now I'm just messing with you. So he came in like it was like a day or two before the show.
Up out of here.
Like a day or two before the show.
Really?
No. He was like a day. He was like a day. I did.
Everything was
I
already
did,
set in
but
stone.
another way.
Oh, okay.
So
You
I
did,
got
but
everything.
another
I just
way.
spent everything, everything. It's like a day or two for the show, right? And he said we canceled the show. It was something that he just made up. I'm like, man, what? So I got in a relationship.
Hey man, we got a problem.
Called one of my Jewish brothers. I had one of the Jewish brothers. Hey, one of the Jewish attorneys came in. It was like on the weekend. He said, look, I'll never forget. He on some jeans and a polo button up. He came in. He did a sleep. He said, how you doing? He said, I don't have my war clothes on today, but I'm ready to go. We sat out that thing. He got to telling Pablo this and that and that. Next thing you know, my show was back on. So that's why I said the power of relationships. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. So that kid I did. So the lawyer that came in, his son, I did some things for him, helped him out, put him in some situations, and I was able to pick up that phone and was able to do that. He came in, didn't charge me nothing. I had no money to pay him either because all my money was at Wiz. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And and we got the show. Then
So this is in Bloomington, though, right?
This is Purdue.
Oh,
This is
Purdue.
Purdue.
Okay.
Yeah. This is Purdue. And then he wind up. So then Pablo winds up. Guess where they catch Pablo at? When they fire Pablo from the university, he's in Walmart buying things, taking them back, and stealing things with the same receipt. And he makes $100,000 a year.
Yeah,
said,
I remember
come
some
on,
kid
man. I said, Pablo, get your ass out of here, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, shit, not to let you throw the
We're just going to
ball.
get Pablo fired anyway because he had pissed me off, but Pablo got himself fired. You know what I'm saying?
Dumb
Like, you know what I mean?
real.
Sometimes if you give a person enough rope, they going to hang themselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's crazy.
So how much you make off the show? B, you didn't tell us that. How much was you in it all in, and how much you make profit off that joint?
I probably was at all in. I probably was at about probably about $250,000 all in, maybe a little less, probably about 225. With the travel, with the stage and the sound and production,
And the marketing for
because
it.
Mac Miller was on the tour too.
Oh,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? Yeah. So Mac Miller and Wiz. So it
I
was
think
one of
I
the
know about this one
It
that
was
you're
it
talking
was
about.
that. You know,
Like
what I mean? So
we
Mac
sat
Miller-
down with Mac and everything. He came over to the house party and everything.
Yeah. So it was like, like I said, the relationships, like I get a lot of relationships through basketball. It wasn't for them. Him, Etwan, Juwan, my man Lou Jack, you know what I'm saying? Like Kelsey,
Lou Jack
Barlow,
was
you know what I
definitely
mean?
Kelsey with
Like
the
you know,
frat.
all them.
That was
and you know
sweet.
what I mean? So like I was able to go in and like, if you give me that, I'm gonna take it from here. Just
give me in the door.
Just get me
Yeah.
what I
You
need
ain't-
to do. You ain't gotta get me in the door. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just ring the doorbell for me. They know you. You can move out the way. Once they let me in, they ain't gonna close
It's
it.
over.
I'm gonna be able
So
to. I'm
you
gonna be able to
in
close
there?
it.
So you in there quarter ticket? Then what?
A little less than quarter ticket. I don't want to over exaggerate. You know,
Okay.
the
About
numbers got to add
225.
up.
That's
Yeah,
what you
about
said.
Yeah,
Cool.
probably about 225.
Be
And
at-
I'm in there.
so
with
what-
both
so what-
shows.
So how I come back?
Put like
What's
this, I had about 4,500 people at IU, and 4,500 people at Purdue. I had about 8,000 at IU. And so I'm gonna tell you how they hated on me. I was just getting like when they see you coming. So I always tell people, life is like football. Even if you don't know how to play football, you know the basics of the game.
Right.
tackle the motherfucker who got the ball in their hand.
Right,
That was
exactly.
it. So I guess everybody thought I had the ball in my hand. So I had the same situation at IU. You know, I don't know
didn't
if
know
T and them knew this story. So now I had already did a couple shows. So now these people like they don't want to give me the venue. So they trying to get me to. If I had Wiz with no venue at IU. So the guys they set up a meeting. Like, look, come on, P. Let's they went, come on, people. Let's just do this. Like, you could give us the date, and we'll give you the money back. You don't lose. Now you do the produce show. So we called the meeting. I'm like, is this meeting over? Y'all can kiss my ass. Fuck y'all. I ain't giving up shit.
Right.
They call again. So they start offering me 50%. They start. I said, look, man, it's nothing. I'm doing my show, and if I don't get no venue, fuck it. I'll keep it in my back pocket. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving it. But then I linked up with the people who had the lot. Which happened, the people that was in with me, not in with me like monetary, but the people that I was usually doing my shows, they got mad because they couldn't get them, and I was able to get them through relationships, right? So they get mad. I didn't need no money. So I'm like, no, you're not getting into the show. But I had 2 Jewish guys that were still, on my side, but they had gave the rights to another fraternity that I never knew. So, difficult takes a day, impossible take me a week. So I found out who it was, called back home, had some people set up a meeting. Not my home, their home, because I have some people in the Jewish community, you know what I mean?
Right.
I tell people I'm a black Jewish guy, because if you always got to have a Jewish lawyer somewhere around, you know what I mean? And, so I was able to find a relationship, backdoor them, and now I said to them, look, I'm gonna give you a percentage of this. Matter of fact, here go a flat fee right here, and I'm gonna give you the other on the back end. If you want. And they was like, oh no, yeah, we gone. Because they wanted to make some money. They wanted to go to their mom and dad and say, guess what? I made some money. So daddy could be proud of you. You carry on the tradition and things like that. So then that didn't work. Guess what else they did? Why they try to get Nicki? They got Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, and all. It was a tour. The school was trying to do a concert. They was trying to do Stevie Wonder. I'm like, okay, that's no competition. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Steve, but we got just 2 totally different demographics. Man, they didn't try to persuade the school to doing them, and they did it. I thought I was in trouble. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was in trouble. I thought I was in trouble. So
now,
have
all them the same.
So they got them. They got them. They did it. They got them. So they brought the school brought the tour there. So the guys who do, they laughing, hee ha ha ha. You know what I mean, and all that. So they wanted I remember the thing. They wanted 100 VIPs from the school. They wanted access to the backstage and all of the school. Told them, look, y'all got to pay for y'all tickets like everybody else. You ain't getting none. So now they want to come on back over here to me. You know what? You see, sometimes snakes are good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You keep them around. You just get
know who they are.
You get away from them so they can't come bite you, but you let them bite everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So a snake ain't bad. It ain't a bad pet. You just got to learn how to utilize it.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And so I did that. Now they coming back, so now I got it. So now I still thought I was in trouble because now this thing about the sellout, it's selling. It's a world tour. It's selling out everywhere.
Yeah.
You ain't never seen nothing like this. But I said to myself, yeah, Kobe and LeBron is the best players in the NBA. But it was that one year that Derrick Rose was the MVP.
Most definitely.
He was the hottest. So I said, yeah, Lil Wayne may be the best rapper in the world, but Wiz is the hottest right now. So what I did was I had to get creative. So on 420. I dropped the ticket. I said, look, I'm dropping this ticket on 420. But I'm only selling 1,000 tickets. So I put out 1,000 tickets. They at 420. They flew. It was 420 at 420. You know what I mean? So I had to get credit. It was 1,000. They were selling so quick. I took like 300 off. I only let them buy. I'm saying, no, I ain't gonna let them buy that quick. So now the only thing I left up to sell was the VIPs. So now everybody getting the VIP. So then I told them I was gonna do this. The second batch of tickets. Then it was uphill from there.
That's
what I'm saying? So I had to get creative.
From both of them, you still ain't told me yet.
I mean, I was.
What's the pros? What's the pros?
I mean, like because I never had a bank account. So when I went in, I'm thinking I'm about to cash this check. The bank, it was Chase Bank. They looked at me like I was crazy and said, called me by my last name, said, Mr. Such and Such. You can't cash this. We have to open up your bank account. And that's when I really knew that I was like, wow, I may have made a little bit of money. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
What we talking? Upwards? We talking 500,
you
300?
put 225 in. What you make? People just want to know.
I double O, but I probably made a little more than double. You know
Okay,
what I'm saying?
okay.
I made a little bit more than double.
How long was the time from the Purdue show and from going to meeting with Wiz, saying, Wiz, I need you to.
Well, I went in there. I jumped out.
How long was that?
I jumped out early because I knew what he was going to become.
You seen it.
I saw it.
You seen it coming.
And this was before Black and Yellow had dropped. This was just
Okay.
So I saw it. I saw it coming. So I went to him in October. And that show wasn't until April. You know what I mean? So you got
you were 6 months
So November I was able to pay the money, like Christmas.
The Black and Yellow come out after.
It came out afterwards. You know what I'm saying? But I had knew where he was at.
You already signed up. You good.
Yeah. So it was one of them things where
that's
it
them
was
type of moves, man.
Bro, that's what I be. That's your gift, bro.
Yeah, it was a blessing.
That's your gift, being able to
spot it early.
Yeah, bro, your timing. That's what I keep hearing. Wood got timing like that too. We had him on here, but people, you really got that timing shit down,
it's
bro.
Because
you can do it in different avenues. You know what I'm saying? Say, okay, cool. I'm not the best hooper. I know they are. How can I still position myself to take care of them? Because I know they still need a void. They still have something that they may not know. They may not know the business stuff. They may not be able to get the contracts. They can put the ball in the hole, but on the back end, they may not be able to connect that shit together, or they may be one of the best hoopers and have a Scottie Pippen story, where they missed out on this amount of money, and that should have never been the case.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's exact. He right about that, bro. Your timing is crazy.
I had a lot of trial. There was a lot of things that I was either too early for or too late for.
For sure,
So I had a lot of trial and error, and I guess I guess a broken clock is right twice a day, You know what I mean?
So tell me this,
lucky.
man. Just to kind of help us kind of wrap up, even where you at, where do you see Peebo in the near future? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking next 5 years, 3 to 5 years. What do you see Peebo doing? I see you buying properties now. I know about the restaurants, all that type of stuff. Where do I see? Where do you see yourself, man? For real?
Man, just trying to get better, man. First, one of the most important things, in my life is, my daughter. You know what I mean? So I want to be able to.
Yeah, you always talk about her.
Yeah, I want to be able to provide, the opportunities that I didn't have. And then even my nieces and nephews, I was one of them, my sister had twins at a young age. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so I was the father figure to them. So that's kind of how it was before my daughter. So I take care of my family, you know what I mean? So so when I'm out, I got to understand I can't do dumb shit because if it's over with, you know what I mean? So nobody, I'm the bread and butter. And and I walk around, thinking that, man, certain shit I just can't do. You know what I mean? I can't involve myself with dumb shit because at the end of the day, something happened to my family. Something happened to me. My family struggles, you know what I'm saying? And it's not a big burden on me because I think I needed that to keep going. Because like I said, even with that money that I made off those shows, I was broke within a year. How? I spent it all because I was traveling. I didn't know nothing about credit. I had no financial literacy. And I still don't have a lot. I'm learning as I go, but no credit. Nobody was able to teach me. My mother couldn't teach me because we lived check to check. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? My daddy couldn't teach me. So it was nobody else that was coming around that was able to teach me. So off of that, I should have been set the rest of my life. I was broke. I'd have been broke 2 or 3 times after that. You know what I'm saying?
So what was you doing? You were just traveling?
I was traveling.
Just in the club?
Crazy
man,
part
he be
about
everywhere trying to make plays.
I didn't even go do nothing crazy. I didn't buy no car. You know what I'm saying? I didn't buy no jewelry. I was really trying. I know the first year I spent $175,000 on travel, and that's just airplane tickets. They include hotel and food. So that was within the first year.
Is that mainly for the different clients, the people that you was trying to work with?
I was just trying to be everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because I know sometimes if you want to be in the way, you got to get in the way. So I was just traveling. Now, if I was smart enough, I would have applied for a credit card. I had the money in the account, and I would have been in the building and then paying it all. So now, so now my credit score is going because I'm paying off. I got these different trades on now. I'm buying this and all that, but I didn't know no better. So I was flying around. So it was more like an investment because I didn't buy nothing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't buy nothing. I didn't.
It was really to set yourself up for later to try to get access
I didn't know what
to
I was
things.
doing. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was just in the way because I remember the first thing I did because I was like, because I'm I fast. I got to get this Wiz. And I remember saying, Lord, if you give me this, God, I'm gonna go donate $30,000 to a church. You know what I'm saying? For like to start a children's program.
Yeah.
And I did. I walked in there. And I didn't do nothing crazy. Like I put in an envelope and I walked out and they called me. It was because I want to start a children's program so people could go have somewhere to go out to school and things like that.
Yeah, they gonna call you after you.
It was
put
like,
that
did you
in the
make
bucket.
did you make a mistake? I'm like, no. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was
that made
crazy.
you feel that made you feel good.
Yeah.
Didn't it?
And oh man, it's one of the best feelings in the world.
Yeah.
When you could, it's I've been
impact.
blessed to have a lot. But to give it, you know what I'm saying? It's like nothing beats it. And then to see where it's going, like they have a school, and they always talk about it and keep it going.
Is that back at home?
Yeah, it's back home, and I do a lot of things. I don't have social media, so I don't have Instagram, I don't have Facebook, so a lot of stuff that I do, I'm just doing it from my heart. Like I do a toy giveaway every year.
Right.
So I help families every year. You know what I'm saying? Whether throughout the year and things like that, I didn't purchase people cars. I'm just not documenting.
Go
you know what I'm
giver.
saying? And it's nothing
go
wrong with
giver.
people that do document it.
Right.
It's just not me. I'm not doing it for
that.
For that, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So every year, that's one of my things. Sometimes I'm like, when they get lost, I said, golly, I just hope I have enough to go do these toy drives and go
Right.
take care of these families, go sponsor 20 families, for Christmas and things like that. Because like I feel like, the more I give, the more I get blessed, the more I'm gonna get back. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what's
So
up.
you
That's
want to
hard.
be able to do that. You
But
know
look
what I mean?
though, people just so that people can know, and it's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got a sense that I know you're a little bit more private person.
Mm-hmm.
It's about how you move and just in general, you know what I'm saying? But as far as all the things that you do have going on, I want you to kind of speak to that. You ain't got to go into detail about them, but maybe for people who just want to know, like, okay,
T said I
get
gotta
that
go
he
into
gotta, like-
detail, but want me to go in detail.
Right. I mean, people, I want you to go in detail, but you can go into detail as much as you want. You know what I'm saying? We know that you. So maybe somebody watching this, are they like, is he like Rich Paul?
No,
Right.
Rich is,
Right.
Big
You know
up
what
to
I'm
Rich.
saying?
Rich is in a different tax bracket. You know what I mean? like what Meek say is levels. Here, Rich is over there. That's my man, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, my man.
So do you do pretty much what he does, just
No.
in your
Rich-
own way, or is it
Rich
completely
get paid.
different?
It's completely
You know what I'm saying?
different. Rich get paid to represent people. I never wanted to be an agent. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I never wanted to work for Nike. I never wanted to do that because it would like
Allow
my
you
daughter
to-
it wouldn't allow me to do things I need to do. My daughter started growing up. She wants to play sports and things like that. I don't like missing practice.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was just like doing that. Then it wouldn't allow me to do certain things. You know what I mean? So I felt like I was never doing it for the paycheck. I was doing it for the equity. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm with T. T is this good. I'm gonna make sure he's good because you got to make sure that your guy stays great. You got to check him. You know what I'm saying? You get to X, Etwan, you get Juwan. Everybody I'm around, like, I'm not a yes man. I'm going
Most
to tell you,
definitely
look, you tripping. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because I need you to be who you could be, so I could be who I could be, so we could be
Well,
all
we
we
can
could
be.
be. You know what I'm saying? So things like that, you know what I mean? So in a sense, like, that's one of the things, and the people start to, see that, like, when I came in, like, I was nobody yes man. And, I tried to set the standards and like early. I tried
But
to
you even
boom.
say that shit early, 6
Early,
years old.
early.
Yeah.
I
Hustle,
tried
like,
and
hey,
didn't
look,
even
man, I
know it.
give you
So
150,
sometimes, sometimes it's in you. You know what I mean? It's already in you. Some of the stuff that you have in you, it's already in you. So you
Most
may
definitely.
read it and you're like, dang, I already think like that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But so I never wanted to do that because it would keep me like
Constricted a little bit,
Yeah,
kind of,
and then
with your
everybody-
time or how you want to conduct business.
Yeah, and because every agent wanted me. You know what I mean? Because they like, man, who he work for? He doing this by himself. Ain't no telling what he could do with us.
Exactly.
And then the shoe brands, they wanted me. Now I'm a loyal to Nike. You know what I'm saying? I don't wear Adidas. I don't wear no other. When JC got a job at Puma, Marvin Bagley went there. Puma, like the head guy. It's crazy because Monty from my hang time, I saw him.
Yeah.
I'm going to 40-40. And it was a line right there. And I see Monty. I said, Monty, come with us. But he was down there because Puma was rebranding their image and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Right.
Not that he
And
couldn't
they
get
picked up
in.
Nip,
But
obviously.
so they had all that. And like and that's when I knew right then. I was like, dang, this is powerful because Monty introduced me to the CEO, which I
see
had
what
already
you're
met him
saying.
through Bagley, but we never shook hands. And
Right.
then so like, then people start offering you things and things like that. And I remember Nip went, he went to Puma. So I had on these Oregon Jordans one time, and I'm in LA with Jay-Z. We at the game. No, so I'm in with EYBL in LA. His nephew was playing.
Yeah.
And I got these Jordans. So Nip, like, it's crazy. This was a little bit before he passed. And, it's like, man, can you get me a piece? I said, I got it. It may take you a minute. It may take me a minute, but I got you. You know what I'm saying? And I was getting him because I took Jay some. You know what I'm saying? I took Jay some. He the boss, so Puma can't trip on him. So I took Jay some. I'm like, because I went to the 444. Like, I went to 18 dates on a 440 tour. The 444 tour. I had my own credentials and everything, but it was just like, Jay-Z is my favorite. So, you know what I mean? Like, so I go in, and it was just like, I was getting something from it. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't. I would go by myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You would see everybody, Rihanna, and everybody, be coming to the different dates and stuff like that. So I would go by myself. But it was just something. Like Jay would look at me, and and nod his head. See me. So like that meant so much to me. You know what I'm saying? So then when he came off stage, it was just Jay, Emery, OG1,
right,
his wife Dez, sometimes Tata and all that, but he gonna roll with a lot of people because like he would go right from the show to the car and go to the jet. Yeah, and he would see me, give me, like hug me, and everybody like, who are you? Like
every day, he like,
so
how
it's
you
the things like that.
So
I'm like, man, what kind of gift? How do you show appreciation to somebody that got everything? So I took him some Oregon Jordans.
Yo, that's crazy.
It went crazy because his favorite Jordans was 3s, but it was like it took me a long time to get the shoe because Jay-Z wore like a 10.5. You know what I'm saying? For him to be that tall, like he wore like a 10.5, and it was just like that's when I knew like, okay, it ain't about money, it's about relationships, and I had a relationships where I was able to get that shoe that a lot of people couldn't get. Right. You know what I mean? Like some of the shoes was only 20 pair being made.
And get it to him.
Yeah, and then to be able to get it to him, it was just like, that was
he was
like,
oh yeah, he,
you know what I'm saying?
he different.
You know what I'm saying?
So when's the first time you met Hov then?
I met Beyonce had a birthday party. No, that wasn't my first time. So I would see him, at different games and we'll say what's up. But my first time I got a chance to really sit, and talk. Beyonce had a birthday party. It was after the Budweiser. You know how they do the, what's the Labor Day or Memorial Day? I forgot. What's in September? I begin to mix.
Labor Day.
That's Labor Day.
You know, I'm from Gary Community School System.
As
long as we out of school that day, that's all we care about. But yeah, so I went there. So she had, they had the performance. It was called Made in America. Okay. And she had a party. It was like they did it on Rocky Stairs. So it was probably about 40, 50 people there. You know what I mean? So that was the time I was able to Actually. I had met him a couple of times, and now we talking out because Jay-Z, he DJ'd the whole party from his phone, like played the music and all that. So that's when I knew, like, when you deal with an artist, like they ram of music is different.
Crazy.
And we dancing, and you know what I'm saying. And then I remember that's when Cardi B. That's why I knew Cardi B was going to another level. Because, you know what I'm saying?
She was there?
No, she wasn't there, but Jay-Z played her song. He played some Jackson 5. He played, he played some Mariah Carey. He played all that. And then Beyonce, Beyonce was dancing. And, so I'm dancing. Beyonce came and danced. You're like, oh, is Beyonce like dancing with me? So I'm dancing with Jay-Z. Marla, we having a good time. It's like, ain't no security not even walking around because they feel like if you in there, you supposed to be in there. Yeah, it was like, so that's when I said, wow, you know what I mean? So it was like 40 people there. And Fat, like, that's when I knew Jay-Z make other celebrities feel like fans. Right. And not that he tried to do it, just like they starstruck. So I watched how they were reacting and trying to get to Jay, and that's just how regular people do to them. So it was like, man, it's clever. I said, man, it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? But it was a blessing just to be able to be around that, just to get in there, because money couldn't put you in there. It was all about relationships.
So you had a relationship to get, obviously you had a relationship to get you in there, but was it from how that developed? Was that all from ball?
But being around, just flying, going everywhere, meeting people. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, he spent $175,000 flying to places. Goddamn it, he better get some relationships up out of it.
I almost went. I pretty much went broke on traveling, and like I said,
and being in them rooms.
Going to would you take me through it, right? I'm going in your head, like when you in the hotel or when you at the crib and you booking your flight, are you like, all right, bet this is probably the hottest event this weekend. I'm going to that. I'm gonna buy VIP tickets because I know probably if I buy that, then it's gonna be some type of relationships out of that, or I'm buying in first class when I'm getting on my flight. Like, how are you processing what to go to and what to spend your money on? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's crazy because I never really had to buy tickets to the place. I just had to get there. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew some people that was there that was going to pull me in because of the relationships that I had.
Right.
So my thing was just showing them. And some of the stuff I didn't even know if I was getting in. I feel like I was going to figure it out when I got there. But like I know I can't get in if I sit my ass on this couch and not go nowhere.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I put myself in that situation to go, and I'm always traveling at the last minute. So that's why a lot of the flights was so high. 800-900 at the last minute. Then so I'm trying to get there, not even knowing what I'm gonna do when I get there, not even knowing if
Just
I'm
knowing
gonna
I'm
get there.
going.
Yeah. So just going. I can remember so I went, like I said, I went from not having much to having something. I done went back and forth so many different times, and it's like so. Even when I didn't have no money, I still would go to those places. Like I would ride the Greyhound. I done slept in cars. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't have a lot of money, so I was like, all right, look, I'm gonna drive this car down there, and I got a couple $100 in my pocket, but I need to eat. I used to order pizzas to the airport. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I felt like if I got a pizza, I'll be able to eat tonight and tomorrow. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then I'm like, I slept at the airport because I'm like, I ain't buying no hotel because like this is all I got. You know? So I'm gonna stay at this home. I'm gonna go brush my teeth, wash up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Then I would get sometimes I have memberships to a gym, or sometimes I would sneak in the gym so I could go shower. I needed to shower because I wanted to be somewhere and be fresh. But sometimes I didn't get off the Greyhound and it was time sensitive, so I ain't had no time to go
get dressed, get rolling.
I had to get ready.
Went to the gas station, got some gum, some Tic Tacs.
I didn't even get that because I would have missed my opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But being late. You know what I mean? So I just went in there. I know it's gonna be something to drink, something edible. I would keep my toothbrush. I'd go in the bathroom, wherever. I get the toothbrush, throw it away. You know what I'm saying? Go out there, look like. Smell like $1 million. You know what I'm saying? But not even have $5 or $10 in my pocket.
But taking
at certain times and sleeping in the car.
But really taking the opportunity by force, almost.
By force,
you know what I'm saying? Like we're in that same situation. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people would have just been like, nah, not today.
Yeah.
No, it was those days that you was like, nah, I'm in there.
I had to go.
Yeah, that's the thing that I feel.
You got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
But I had to go. I didn't know what it was going to become, but I knew if I sat down, I knew it was
You already
nothing.
know my answer was going to be nothing.
Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You know what I mean?
And this my last thing, B, because I know we keep getting into it. For all the stuff that you got your hands into, what is that? Just business-wise, stuff that you got going on.
Yeah,
how does it look today?
I mean, it looks.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
If the listeners, because a lot of people ask me this personally, and I'd be like, I can't really tell you exactly what he do. You get what I'm saying? But like, if you had to tell the listeners, this is what I do. As far as helping people, because I know you help a ton of people.
Yeah, but like,
what are those things?
Right, but you got restaurants and all of that stuff too. So,
I always tell people it's not like I'm being private. I am private, but I feel like the only person supposed to tell you what they do is a waiter or a waitress. So when you come in, you're like, hey, my name is such and such. I'm a waiter. I'm a waitress today.
Yeah.
Things I try to show people. You know what I'm saying? So one thing is, it's like, it's not just one thing. You know what I mean? I feel like, I think the best word will call me a consultant. Whatever you need, I can get. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So if you need to be put with such and such, I can make one call and I can make that happen.
Well, get Etwan on the show for one.
Hey, I need some.
Gonna come. You know what I'm saying? So it's just,
hey, we need some tickets to the All-Star game next year.
Ooh, that All-Star game.
In Nap Tiggity.
Hey, he don't want to run.
Hold on.
In Nap Town.
Hey, man, I would run with every comp.
He'll run your comps all
I'm
day.
asking for some All-Star tickets. Look how that works.
Yeah, but I love to get back because I can remember when I first came to Indianapolis when I was coming down, and people don't even probably know this story. Probably like Jeff, them don't even know this story. Like I remember calling, Mr. Teague and him taking my call.
He a real one.
Man,
shout out Mr. Teague. Shout out Jeff Teague and all them too.
Great one. And then I was a little. I knew Marcus a little more than Jeff because Marcus went to Kentucky. So
exactly.
so I'm there. You know what I mean? So and the time I was telling you about when I bought the dinner was in Boston, it was a lockout, so we all went to Lexington to get some runs against the UK, and that's when I told everybody, I said UK won the championship this year because we had it was three courts going. And they had the pros and college, and they was going back and forth, Anthony Davis and all that.
Right.
But Mr. Teague, man, I like every time I see him, I hug him because like he answered my call. Didn't even know me from a can of paint, but was able to take one call. You know what I'm saying? That meant a lot. Same thing with Mr. Conley. You know what I'm saying? Like so I'm identifying these people in Gary. Like I said, these are people that know what they doing. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Like and I knew like when I first saw Jeff play like Marcus, like everybody knew like he was probably one of my favorite high school players. Like one of my favorite players. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he had a electrifying.
Yeah, he was different. Yeah, he was different.
Hit you
with
with
the
pen.
And he was talking crazy.
And he was
getting
buckets.
Me and Ronnie had to get at him one day. We had to get at him because he's like, hold on.
So we got to get more. So we got to move on the show. You know what I mean? Hey, so
we do.
Y'all had a rivalry.
Yeah, we had a nice little rivalry.
And then it was like I thought it was something in the water in Indianapolis. Eric Gordon. I met Eric Gordon at IU.
Right, he said something in the water.
I said, man, now Eric. I said, it ain't never been a night. I didn't get a chance to really see Greg. And me and Greg are like cool. But like to see EJ do it, Eric Gordon, I said he may be the best player in Indiana since Glenn Robinson. You know, I said I never seen nothing like that. He was different,
bro.
And then when I saw Jeff, I thought Jeff was underrated.
High school.
Yeah, he was different, and I thought Jeff was underrated, but I thought Jeff was a pro too.
Yeah.
And then, you know, what did he do? 2 years, 1 or 2?
He did 2 at Wake Forest.
Yeah. I knew he was out of there. Like I said, so that's why I'm like, yo, these people. Sometimes you got to get around people that got the recipe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So whether and then doing my homework. Mr. T, I didn't know he played. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he
like
did.
That. So, you know, when he told me he played, I want to say he might have played for Rick Pitino or something like that at a school or something like that. I'm not sure.
Early on when Rick,
when Rick first got the job. I'm not sure
I think he
about that.
did,
Don't quote me
bro.
on that. You know what I'm saying? Then Mike Conley, knowing that he was, he went to Arkansas.
And his dad was the long
track.
jump.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, man, you start to see this, like, sometimes it's a recipe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a
Yeah.
recipe. You know what I'm saying? And they have it. You know what I mean? So like with me, like, a lot of people say,
what is it?
okay, what you do? I mean, so many different things.
That was a good one that you said though, as a consultant.
Yeah. I'm a consultant.
Because
whatever you need, you can get.
Yeah, I could believe it. You know what I mean? And I go, and it's like whether like some people don't understand. I want to leave the breadcrumbs for other people from my similar situation to be able to follow, so they can know the path. You know what I'm saying? And to be able to leave that and to see them. If I could do it, you could do it. That's why I go to Gary so much. That's why I'm there so much, because sometimes you got to reach out and touch it. I didn't believe I could be something because I couldn't reach out and touch it. Yeah. Now, if you whatever you think I am, if you think I am here or not, whatever the case is, I let other people be that judge.
Yeah,
but I try to go back and I go speak to the schools and I go talk to them just so it's believable. And I remember going to when I started in the NBA with wet suits. Now I go back to this because a lot of people in Gary, they only see suits at a funeral.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when they see you in a suit, they be like,
shit, that was me too.
You know what I'm saying? Like they don't understand that.
Especially a black person in the suit.
Like they don't understand that. So now I gotta. So the first thing you get to people, you get their eyes.
Yeah.
Then with their eyes, then they listen.
Yeah.
Then when they listen, then you get their heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a chain of command.
Most
and
definitely.
You got to follow that. It's like Pythagorean theorem. A squared + B squared = C squared. You know what I mean? So once you
he throwing out gems on their ass
He
right now.
talking that shit right now.
So like once you get that, and then they figure it out, then they start to identify and they start to ask the things. And I'll tell you, like I done failed more than I succeeded.
Yeah.
Right.
So if I
and that's
could do it,
every
you could do
successful
it. You know
person.
what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm okay to share my story. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'd have been on the other side. And I got cut. I was a half inch from being dead. A half inch from being dead with a cut on my neck when I was like 10 years old. You know what I mean? So, but that didn't change who I was. And you know what I'm saying? That's why I say it's a blessing of God. You know what I mean? So we all have to.
Well, that's hard.
You gotta kind of like see it.
And
you know
that's
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying?
saying.
Keep driving it.
That's one big reason, bro. Like we appreciate you, man, for
That's 100
showing up today.
Oh,
Just
no,
so y'all
it's a
know,
blessing, man.
this is my dog.
Yeah.
But for one, he wasn't supposed to. He told himself he wasn't going on no podcast until he made his.
Yeah.
For one, you know what I'm saying. So we got him over here,
Yeah, man.
and that's a blessing for us, bro. And
Yeah, I
just
love it.
we can,
Yeah, it's
man,
good.
with the amount of stuff that a dude like this can really talk to you about.
Yeah.
Man, we can have we could have did a 3-series podcast, 4-series podcast to be 100% honest. But today I feel like he definitely dropped some gems on y'all that y'all need. And before we go, I definitely want to thank you, bro. Give you your flowers now. You one of the dopest dudes out here in the city, and just stay at it, keep inspiring. You know what I'm saying? And
man.
one thing before we go to obviously we're gonna shout out the Moguls in the making stuff, but I want him to kind of do that for us. The only reason why I say that is because, like he said, early on he didn't have the credit knowledge. He didn't have the, hey, I'm gonna go and buy a house and this is how much I gotta spend and this is what they worth and stuff like that. But one time people told me, when we hopped on the phone, he was like, bro, I've been trying to learn, this side of real estate for like years, and now in one conversation in 30 minutes that I had,
told me more than anybody else had told me.
You said what, B?
I said in one conversation, T. And we kept missing each other. I would see Ronnie them in Vegas and Phoenix, you know what I'm saying? I would see, Big T's dad, you know what I'm saying, and all that. But me and T, like, we'll talk a little bit. We never got into depth. So I remember one time I called him, I had a question, because I'm about to buy a property. And T, within 30 minutes, he told me more than anybody had told me my whole life, added up. And I understood it because he broke it down. I always say, look, talk to me like I'm dumb.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm smart enough to realize I'm dumb in certain areas. And he broke it down to me, you know what I'm saying? And, and I was able to, You know, like I was able to, you know, dissect it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
grasp
get it.
and be like,
and that's
oh,
why I always
okay.
tell people, like, it doesn't take a degree. I don't have a degree. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, I know people that have more degrees than a thermometer, but they can't tell you the temperature of success.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand.
People might have been a rapper too.
It's different.
Dropping little
you know
shit
what I'm
like
saying?
that.
Like, it's different. So don't judge yourself off what somebody else is. That
Right.
may not be the path for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'm telling you, I done took the Greyhound. Man, I used to take the Greyhound, you know what I'm saying, after I get off a jet, because I get on the jet with some of the big guys, right?
Yeah.
But they'd be going to another city. And it was close, so after I got off the jet, I still needed to get back home. So I'll go there and then book the next Greyhound ticket. So that's how my life been. Sometimes I'd have been in the suites and I'd have been in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
And that's what it
when you can
is.
survive one, you can survive them both.
And consistently coming out on
Yeah,
top, man.
yeah.
But I'm glad
That's
you
what's up,
shared that
man.
with them, because we do got our mentee program that we, you know, got started a while back, and we teaching these type of things.
Yeah.
Not only real estate. Like, I feel like people think it's just about real estate. It's not only real estate. We in there trying to show you how to build your credit. We in there giving plays on stuff that, you know, normally people just wouldn't get.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So definitely hop in, check it out. We're gonna put the link is in our bios on Instagram as well. But man, we really do appreciate you, bro. We appreciate you for coming out, and we're gonna get some shit rocking too.
But what we got though is just to talk about one last thing is to talk about the NIL and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. We can definitely jump into overtime. Yeah. So now in overtime, man, I really wasn't gonna do it because I'm like, damn, we really went in.
Yeah,
but real quick,
real
quick before we hop out of here, man, what do you feel about the NIL contracts and how that's changed college basketball and basketball as a whole?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With you being so involved with different players and helping them and, you know, deals and things like that, what do you feel, man?
I mean, I don't know a lot about it because it's still being, you know, figured out. I don't think they know a lot about it. And I haven't really been, like, active a lot, you know, being more behind the scenes because, you know, like I said, my daughter's starting to, you know, play sports and, like, you know,
ain't your daughter at Sierra Canyon?
No, my daughter's at Evans. My daughter's at Sierra Canyon, obviously.
I thought you said maybe you said you was gonna take your daughter out there to the game.
I go to a few games out there and stuff like that because I had, you know, a couple guys that went there, you know, years ago and stuff. So I know some of the coaches, so I go out there. But I think, you know, with NIL, I just really think they just open the door up for cheating. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and it's just like, I don't really think it's cheating because I think athletes deserve to be paid.
Right.
But when they had the case, you know, when they had the, you know, the Fed case, when they was arresting people, then they just let you do it for free. So it was like, it was a waste of the taxpayers' money to go, you know,
it's kind of like
you know,
the weed
convict them.
situation.
Exactly.
It was kind of go convict them and all that. People doing this time, you fire all these people. Some people lost their jobs to just say, okay, you get NIL, you can get some money. You know,
and some of the people lost their jobs, bro, and never got back to that status.
Never got back
like
to that
you got
status.
dudes like even like bro out at Auburn that Ronnie played for Bruce Pearl.
Yeah.
Like they had him in some little stuff. They had Patino and some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like them is real top tier coaches, and now you just said, all right, now everybody can do it.
Yeah, Booker, Emmanuel Book, one of my guys, he from New York. He can't, you know, I think he done lost his family and all that, you know, through that, you know, and all that. Like I said, I mean, rules are rules, and what's wrong is wrong. But then you do this, and then you just open it up. And I really think it's like, I'm glad everybody's getting paid, but I like I tell kids, like don't focus on it right now. You know what I mean? If you've been eating ramen noodles for your whole life, what's another year of eating it? What's another 2 years of eating it? Don't take a small bag and not focus on a big bag. Like, I've never been into giving kids like money. Like, you know, Etwan was my guy, so it was like, you know, that was family. So if we're going out, we're gonna have a new outfit on. We're gonna have new shoes, so we're gonna have the latest. But I didn't have to buy them. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's just kind of like if you have a girl or something. Like, you don't want to have to buy them. Now, if it's a girl, then you maybe, you know, take care of it and you look out for it. But as far as just that's what they're going to look at you as a dollar sign. You feel what I'm saying?
I look at it like that too, bro. Because I think about it like as a player, like I'm thinking back. Yeah. And obviously, shit, now I'm like, man, I need to figure out how we can get this back paid for one.
Yeah.
But on another level of it, it's kind of like, if I had 100 G's a year when I was in college and I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, what would that?
Where would you be?
Where would I be? Like, some dudes, they might miss the opportunity in going to the NBA. Not might. It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
because they got too much bread, bro. They got the big head.
Life, and they're not working hard. And that's one thing I told people. Like, if you don't, hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard. And when you getting that money, you start to feel like you already made it. You know what I'm saying? And then you be like, you don't want, okay, I need to go to the gym tonight, or I need to go to the club, or go buy these Balenciagas, or go buy these shoes, or go buy this, you know what I'm saying, Louis Jack. Like, you really walking around like you already done made it. And you start to feel like you already made it. You know what I'm saying? That's a drug when you look in the mirror and you feel like, I got this and I got that. You was like, okay, well, I got to go to the gym and get that one. Exactly. You're focusing on a small bag.
And motivation started to disappear a little bit.
You're going to blow the
big
bag.
Minds is already, they already small in college, bro. Your mind is small in college.
And so many people handicap them and tell them how good they are instead of telling them how good they could become.
Exactly,
you know what I'm saying?
bro.
And that's the thing. And trying to show you, like, if I show you something, you show hard work. I can't show you how to play basketball. I can rebound for you. And
right.
We go get some shots up. But I can't show you that. But I got people that specialize in showing you that. So I always like to, like I said, put people with the people that need to be put with to be successful. You know what I'm saying? I remember, like, I'd never wanted to be a politician. I can remember one time, you know, one of my friends, he wanted to be a politician. So I was blessed enough to go to one of Barack's Christmas parties. And it's crazy because right after that, I went to the Jay-Z concert. You know what I'm saying?
That's
it
all.
was in Chicago.
Same night?
Same night. It was like, it was right out. It was part of 4440.
He's stunting on y'all right now.
Like, but I took my friend there, you know what I'm saying, to go because that's what he wanted to do. Now, me, it was like cool, you know what I'm saying? I left a little early because I wanted to make it to the Jay-Z. Jay-Z was mine.
Right.
I love Barack, but Jay-Z, that's where I was getting it from.
Yeah.
That was good for him, but this is good for me. This is taking me now.
Right.
Both of them is like, it's an honor to be at both of them. Like, how many people could say I left here to go there? It's a blessing. But some people you gotta be able to put people with the people they need to be put with and get out the way.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you ain't gotta be in the way.
And that's how that really love and camaraderie and people go to bat for you too. You know what I'm saying? You building that up.
On the flip side of that, though, what I will say is, you know what I'm saying, dudes like me, for instance, even that didn't go to the league, you know what I'm saying, played overseas, you know, for a little bit and then I'm done, is sometimes like that college education and shit really ain't it for one. So having that and being able to control it, if you can control it. So if I made 100 G's a year when I was at Purdue and I had still had 300 left when you should have 300 left when you leave there because ain't no way you should be spending all that bread, bro, for one. Not you don't go get all these crazy ass chain stuff, bro. You might not make it to the league. It's a lot of people that's going to be getting NIL deals and stuff like that they're not going to the league anyway. Period. So they can start preparing for their future with that money. Do you get what I'm saying?
That's where I see
that
the win,
part
man.
of it is a win to me.
I feel like it's a good thing because number one, I think overall, right, you might have a little like a generation of a lot of people like not going to the league, having that big head factor, people, you know, kind of fucking their money up or whatever. But then after that, the youngest that's coming after that is like, hey, bro, look, I done already fucked that NIL deal up. I could have went to the league. I didn't. You know what I'm saying? That start to drop. But what it's starting to do is starting to steal. You don't have to make it to the league to still make some cool, decent money. So now it start to be like, okay, you start to get Rich Pauls and you start to get Maverick Carters that come from that same circle of this person, right? Peebos and people from that wasn't that guy that was putting the ball in the bucket, but that was right there like, hey, bro, nah, you don't need to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? You need to go home. But you need to keep working on your game.
The crazy part about it, they ain't gonna listen. It's just like sometimes you could tell them the stove is hot. They got.
Well, you're right though, but it's gonna be a select. And I understand you got this percentage versus this that actually is gonna listen. But it's some of them that got a cool background or that got some motivation or that is inspired from Jay-Z or Nip or whoever. That's like, nah. I do kind of, you know what I'm saying? I know I still kind of, you know, want to be with my friends, but I'm a little bit different. Like when you was their age. You could have easily been in the club drinking and all that stuff. You was a little bit different for all the different experiences that you got. There's going to be some other young homies that got that same
most definitely
mindset. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, they probably going to handle their shit. They knew when you was 6 years old that you was probably going to be straight.
Right.
Damn near can raise yourself. Peebo, you need a little bit of guidance, but he going to be cool.
I agree. Because I feel like I feel like you had to have it, man, because it's like, bro, they making so much money off of it that it was almost, it was ridiculous what the NCAA is making off of these players.
It's crazy.
And what these universities was making off of these players off of myself. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And to not be able to have no bread from that, you know, it does look crazy. But on the flip side of it, it's like maybe it'll be a better way in the future of giving it to them. Like, oh, when
They
you
trying to figure
leave
it
from
out.
here,
Yeah.
now
You
you
got what
got
I'm
your
saying?
education on
Yeah.
how to use it, and you didn't.
trying to
I
figure
feel like
it out.
it's just like he said, they don't even know what
they
it
don't know
is
what they
yet.
doing
They need
yet.
some
And
You get what I'm
stipulations around
saying?
it. Well, I agree with
But
that.
it will have to
But
go
they
there.
need to give us that money,
Yeah.
though.
But y'all, there's a lot of people ain't really getting as much money as we think. So
Nah,
it's kind of
yeah,
like
100%.
endorsements in the NBA. It's only a few people that sell shoes. People that got a lot of people just ain't gonna get endorsements.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna get marketing money.
Yeah.
So that's how in the college, like, so a few of the big ones have some, but like the small, like they still don't have.
Yeah,
it.
most
and
definitely
so even
not.
with that, so
Yeah.
you got to understand how to play the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I may throw you a curveball, I might throw you a fastball. You know what I'm saying? I might beat you with a hook shot. I might dunk on you. You still got to know how to play the game. So even with that, don't be said going to college. I always tell people, you going to college, you putting your first of all, you probably one of the first people in your family that got a chance to step on college
everything.
camp.
Yeah.
Then you're free. To me, you got to go there. NBA stand for never broke again, and the NFL stand for not for long. So you got to position yourself whether you make it or not.
Yeah.
So the thing is, when you go with them alumni, you need to be shaking hands and sit
Absolutely.
down. So
Because you already got the influence
You already got that.
I
It's
didn't do
hot.
that enough.
You got to be hot. So I would tell JG Eaton, look, we need to go. I remember we found out a guy. He was a Purdue alumni. That he owned like 4 McDonald's. Said we was going in there. You know what I'm saying? We was going in there. I'm like, you got to have these relationships with these
Yeah.
people because you're not gonna play basketball your whole life.
Most definitely.
If you play 10 and 12 years, you blessed. What you gonna do for the next 50 or 60 years of your life? This is the time. But now they don't want to see you. Now it's out with the old, in with the new.
Right,
Go
'cause you
around,
hot.
touch everybody. It's like musical chairs.
It is.
How you play musical chairs?
But if you tapped in, when you go up there to them campuses and stuff, like even Purdue, you go up there to them campuses and stuff, and you tapped in with the alumni and all that stuff, bro. It's like home.
It's home. It's home.
You
but
gonna
gotta
see everybody
go.
that
You gotta go.
that-
You gotta
that's
want it.
about
you gotta
that.
want it.
You
or
gotta want it.
You gotta go get it.
You gotta
Because
connect.
a lot of people ain't going pro. It's just a harsh reality. Of it.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's about life is like playing musical chairs. It's where you sit when the music starts spinning. You don't wait until the music cut off to find a seat.
Exactly.
You looking for the seat while the music is on. You looking for a seat while that
Position.
ball and bouncing.
Yeah.
You got to be able to do it because if we all just wait until the music shut off to find the shit, now it's luck.
Right.
Luck is a preparation that meets opportunity. My opportunity, I'm already looking at that chair. So I know when I come around, this music about to stop. I'm already positioned myself.
Exactly.
In fact, I'm not even standing straight up. I'm dipping because I know it's about to cut off. So now my seat is there. But if I wait until the music stops to find my seat, somebody else gonna have
somebody
it.
else
Miss
got
the
opportunity.
opportunities. And
And there it is.
opportunities don't go nowhere. They go
That's
to
that
other
timing. Thing we
Exactly.
just talking about, man.
opportunities don't
There
go
it
nowhere.
is.
They go to other people. Always
everything.
in there.
Peebo, man, we appreciate
No, I
you, big
appreciate
dog,
y'all.
man, coming on, man. 219, shout out 219.
Shout out to
Jerry,
219 in the
Gary,
building, man. We
Gary,
appreciate y'all for
Gary,
watching too,
Gary.
man. But we gonna get out of here. Again, check out everything, man, that we got rolling with the mentorship. Moguls in the making is in our link is in our bios on Instagram. Shout us out. Give us some comments. Oh, take us out of here, man.
Subscribe to our channel, Moguls in the Making on YouTube. Catch it back on Instagram, legacy_T on Instagram. Also, man, give us a review on our podcast,
Please.
Apple Podcasts. We got that out. We just getting it going and stuff right now. So we looking to build that up. And, we gonna get to 200, 300, 400 episodes, and we gonna be in a different spot, man. But bringing these early guests on, like, this is like our home. You know what I'm saying? To go back and like a couple years from now, even watch this, people, I'm like,
Yeah.
damn. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, y'all was really, you know what I'm
putting
saying,
them $1 million
dropping
deals.
stuff, bringing people on. You know what I'm
sure.
saying? That even people may even know in the streets, but maybe not even know all the different things about you or know whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Because we got a real relationship with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, nah, man, I appreciate that. But, yeah, make sure y'all do that. And just like that, we out.
We out.
Yeah.